Okay, so I am here just figuring out my desk setup as I have my new desk. Yeah, you could tell how tilted my office is, unfortunately, based on the fact that the camera is showing it incredibly tilted. How far down do I want to point here? I need to zoom in. I'm really, this desk is very deep, and so my desktop, which is great, is pushed back. I actually like that it's pushed back, but that means my camera is like really pushed back. Yikes. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I might need to mess around with that a bit more. For now, it's just gonna look like I'm really tilted when I'm really not tilted. It's just that the floor is tilted, I think. Okay, so I have my new desk, which I can now stand or sit at, which is great. But it's a bit narrower, so that means like I can literally put my hands from edge to edge. So that means I have less surface area to work with, which is again great because I want to be as minimalist as possible with my desk setup. And so I really have to think about what I have on my desk, where I put it, etc. So I make sure I have the bare essentials, the bare necessities that I need, and then work my way from there. So it's like playing musical chairs for me of like, okay, where am I pushing things to in order to access what I need to access, etc. And I also today got this lovely little package, which is not really little, it's huge, but came pretty quickly. It is paper-like. I have decided to give it a whirl because the one that I have I do not like. So I'm gonna save this to the side because if I don't like it, I think there's like 100-day return policy on it. So I have 100 days to kind of test it out, see what I think, and then return it if I don't like it. So here's the return label. So I'm just gonna put this back in this package here. I'm gonna keep the envelope just in case. So it's for my iPad 12. Now I already have a protector on there, which I did not like, which is why I got the Paperlike, because it seems like everyone has been glowing about the Paperlike. So I'm going to take the one that I have on there off. It's being returned. And I also received the new writer issue. I subscribe to like, I think 3 different writer type magazines, and a book for me to read, which was recommended to me, Atomic Habits, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results, which again, one of those recommended type books by James Clear. I'm excited to dig into this. This is actually going to go behind me with my other, I'm just going to put it here for now, with my other books. And look at this cool, it's an iPad case. It has my iPad in it. So you open it up. Let's get my iPad right there. Whoops. You didn't need to see that. And my little pencil is right there on the side, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna take the mat that's off, that's on here off, because like I said, I don't like it. Woodchuck slept in today. That's great. I think I will apply the Paperlike thing when I'm off stream later. I don't think I'm gonna do it now, just because I need to have precision and be paying attention, etc. So I think I will wait. I'm just gonna set my iPad to the side here. So on my desk, I have a nice little Grove Made pencil holder. I'm gonna have a bunch of Grove Made products or things on my desk to kind of make my desk look neat and uniform. So this was the first Grove Made item that I got, that my wife got me, I think, this past Christmas. And I'm gonna change up what's in here. She just tossed some things in there, but she wasn't really paying attention. So let's put a highlighter, a marker, my pencil, and then a few actual like pens. Like so. And then my little thing one, so it'll look like this with some pens and things. So that is on my desk, off to the side and to the back, so it's out of my way. This I can put up here. It's not going to go on my desk. And so I have my trackpad, because my laptop is, again, so far from me, I can't really use the trackpad like I normally would. So I actually have my old school that came with my original iMac, that I had like, I don't know, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. So I have that. Hopefully I'll get the brand new Magic trackpad sometime in the future, but it works for here, so I'm not gonna complain too much. So I've got that. I have my Logitech MX Keys keyboard, and I have my Logitech mouse, MX mouse. I have my Audio Technica headphones, my iPad, my microphone, which is going to be put on a boom arm, which will extend out and up here, so that it's not on my desk anymore like it is right now, which will be great, because then I won't constantly, I feel, be moving it around like I am. Like I'm constantly moving it up and pushing it back and moving it up and pushing it back. So I'm hoping that when I have the boom arm, which I will have on Sunday when I get to open all my birthday presents, I will hook that up. My wire situation is atrocious, and it doesn't help that my desk is in the middle of my office, which means when you walk in, that's kind of like the first thing you see is my wires that are spilling out over the back of my desk. So I'm going to try to figure out some wire organization, which is really needed since the desk needs to be plugged in order for it to work, right? Because look, I can raise the desk up. I'm seated and the desk is going up. So when I want to stand, I can stand. Right now I'm sitting. I'll probably stand later. So in order for this to happen, I need to have a wire that's kind of long enough to not pull or give. So I have a setup right now which is better than what I had yesterday when I first originally did it. Like, the wire situation was out of control. And the main issue is the fact that I'm hardwired to my my Wi-Fi extender, and I want to stay hardwired to it. So I'm hoping I find an Ethernet cable in the house that's at least 10 feet, because right now the one that I have is like, I think 4 or 5 feet long, and so I have to have the base like right here on the floor, which is an eyesore to have, not for anybody else because no one else can see it but me. But I want to take this base and put it on the bottom shelf behind me of this bookcase and kind of have it out of the way, and then kind of tape the wire like along the floor or something and have it like right there with a little bit of give. And I need to get a white, because my desk is white, I want to get a white surge protector. Right now I have a black one, which again is not bad. It's on the foot of this thing, which it looks perfect, and I'm going to sticky tape it to the foot here. But again, I want it to be white. I don't want it to be black right here, so it kind of blends in, even though it really won't, because it's a surge protector, so like it really can't. But what sucks though is I'm gonna have this surge protector here literally so that I could plug the desk in, because my laptop, my monitor are plugged into a outlet that I have behind here that's attached to the desk. So it comes with these two outlets that are in the back, and I'm using that. So it's, you know, trying to figure out how to make it all kind of work. I have an idea, but it's still a work in progress, right? I have to make sure all the wires are long enough so when I go to my height of, I think it's 39, I think I take it all the way up to 39 inches when I'm at a standing position, none of the wires are pulling. And then when I come down to a seated position, the wires aren't like dangling and a real eyesore to look at. So trying to find that happy medium of how to organize this wire thing is going to be the biggest challenge. I've been watching YouTube videos on how other people manage their wires. So once I figure that out, I think I'll be like in a better place. And then like literally what's on the desk right now is all that's going to be on the desk. I might add a stand for my monitor, because that'll allow me to have some sort of organization area under the stand. Grovemade has these like stands with like shelves that you could then put under the stand, so you can have like little notes and pens and paper clips and things. And so I might get that, but what's on here is what's on here, and I really can't put anything else. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, so what I have planned for today, I'm not going to be on for very long actually. Let me set my timer. Because I have to do a PowerPoint deck today. That's for work, for like work. So after I'm done here, I'm going to be working on that for like a good 3 hours, depending on how long that takes me to put together. And I want to kind of start working on that at around 1, between noon and 1. So let's say I'm going to be on for like an hour and a half. Also, hello, Justin, and welcome. Yeah, I think Travis had recommended this Atomic Habits book, which I had at the time when he recommended it to me. I told him it was so funny because I did have it in my cart, and on Amazon I constantly have things in my save for later section, and it was one of those that I had saved for later for like a while. And what I do is whenever I order something from Amazon that's like a big ticket item, I will slip in one of my less expensive, like if it's under 15 or 20 bucks, I'll slip in a book or whatever. And I think strangely enough, the paperback of Atomic Habits was like, I think it's like $18, but the hardback for Atomic Habits was only like $11 and change. So I was like, okay, obviously I'm gonna get the cheaper hardback version. You talked me into it, Amazon. So I slipped that in there because I had to order our K-Cups, our coffee, which is coming today. So, but I'm drinking Dunkin' because we didn't have coffee this morning, so we went to do a coffee run, which is why I was not streaming early this morning. And the reason why I wasn't streaming yesterday is because I was actually putting this desk together yesterday. I did not put the desk together on Monday because I gave, my wife forced me to take an extra day to rest. So I did not. Put the desk together. Now what I am going to be doing is creating what I'm calling the vault spread for, let me move Photoshop over here. It always opens on my other window for reasons I don't understand, but it's neither here nor there. Okay, put that back over here, please. Thank you. So the vault is intended to be a sort of checklist for writers. I was going to do a desk building stream, but it really didn't take that long, and it wasn't like they really were true to the facts when Autonomous says that it takes you like 15-20 minutes to put this desk together. That is literally how long it took me to take it. It's all of like 10 pieces, so it wouldn't have been anything fancy. Now what I am gonna do is a bookcase stream. So my bookcases, I have 5 of them, and none of them have books on them. They don't even have their shelves on them. Like, they're currently just sitting here waiting for books. So what I am going to do, probably after this weekend, after my birthday weekend, or maybe definitely before July, because in July is when I'm going to return back to writing and finishing my this first novel of this series. But I am going to do that. So I'm going to have a bunch of book boxes in my office, and I'm going to just rotate my camera and show myself putting the shelves in, how I height them and align them, and then deciding where books are going to go based on what I need and based on the aesthetics of these 5 bookcases that I have. 1 or 2 of them I won't be able to do because I'm waiting for my door to be installed, and that's not going to happen probably till August. So because when they install my door, they're probably going to need the bookcase that's closest to where that is to be moved, and I don't want to put books on it and then have to take the books off so they can move the bookcase and blah blah blah. So my decision is just don't put books on that bookcase until they do their thing, and then I'll do that. I have enough to fill my office with these 5 bookcases, and then I have a library. So my library is on the other side of the house, and that's going to have, I think, 8 or 10 bookcases as well. And that's probably also going to get filled with books. But I mean, I've never actually done a full count, but I'm going to be able to fill at least 16 to 18 bookcases with books and have very little room to spare. So let's just put it that way. And I already know which kinds of books I want to have in my office versus which ones can just be in the library, and I don't need to have them handy. So, and I'm going to make sure I leave some space on the shelves in my office just in case I should buy new books and I want to have them here, because I don't want to buy a new book that I want to read, tuck it away in the library, and then forget it, and then I never end up reading it, right? So I want to make sure that my office has more shelf space for new books that I'm intending on actually reading. And speaking of intending on actually reading, that's why I have this lovely little spread here, which is my favorite spread so far, which is the TBR spread. I've actually been trying and retrying to get the size right of the of these spreads before I really dive into doing them, because I've already did so many and I have to resize them all based on the layout that I have. So that's what I was doing yesterday, and I'm still doing it today because I resized them all, and then I realized I resized them all to the old spread that I had, and I've landed on this new one, which is a bit longer. So that's what you see me like working on right now, is that I'm resizing the resize again. And then I'm going to test it out just to make sure that this is going to work, because I don't want to be constantly resizing the canvas instead of just literally creating the spreads, which is the most important part. 67.89, 46.20. Make sure that's perfect. Okay. So I want to do one. Yeah, most of my tracking is all in Google Docs as well. This is just a way to make it a visual representation more than a tracking system. It's just a way to make it look cool, or make it look like a cool thing to do. Oh wait, I don't want it to be transparent. I actually want the white background. So let's uncheck that. And I want to test this, so I don't need it to go anywhere but in my downloads area. And I think I can do this right on here without needing to do it on my actual iPad. Yeah, that's the intention of it. So I think I might actually have, oh, I don't know why this is opening so small. Yeah, you see right here. So this is how you would treat that TBR spread in your when you're actually using it. I did an example so people could see what it would literally look like on your iPad. So you would just take the image and just drag it into this square here, and then that you would have your TBR list and then a couple of maybes down here. And then as you read it, you would then take it and then move it over to the right hand side to say you've read it, color in the stars to say how many stars you rated it, and then I put a little reviewed question mark yes or no down here, just so that it would hopefully remind you and entice you to go and actually review the book that you've just read. Where you decide to do that review is up to you, whether it's in Goodreads, Amazon, on your own blog. But at least it kind of triggers your brain to be like, okay, I just read this, I just gave it 5 stars. You know what, I really should review it. Did I review it, yes or no? And then I give you a little key down here of like 1 star what that means, and then 5 stars what that means, etc. So like I said, this is like my favorite spread because it just looks really cool. Oh, you know what? I didn't mean to open this. I meant to open Keynote. My bad. I meant to open Keynote. Okay, so yeah, so the layout I'm doing, as you can see, I've tried there are different versions here. So the one that I think I'm going to land on is this one that's a 1920 by 1200 in dimensions, but that's not the actual dimensions of the spread, because while the canvas is 1920 by 1200, I'm mimicking an actual, like if you were to open your journal within that canvas. So it's actually a smaller canvas. So that's why I need to test that it actually, once I start creating these spreads and I shrink them into this box, that it's going to take up as much space. It is, and it's a real one. It's coming out soon-ish, and the only reason why I found it is because I used Barnes and Noble to see if those images would look the best. You could use Barnes and Noble, or you could use really any site that has an image of the book. But I just went to Barnes and Noble and just looked at their bestsellers and, you know, different kinds of books and things, just so that I could see that it's easy to do it on your iPad. And all you do is just long press on the book image until it like pops up, and then you just drag it over into GoodNotes. You do a split screen and it drops right in there. You just resize the image. And when I went to, you know, the barnesandnoble.com website, that was one of the first things that popped up. It's coming out, like I said, I think this year. I'm definitely going to pre-order it. It looks like it's going to be a pretty fascinating read. I love autobiographies. I have so many. That's actually what got me into going to book signings. Many years ago, I used to be an avid person who would go to these book signings all the time. I used to go to like 3 or 4 a week. And it was mostly for autobiographies. And then I got into going to book signings for, you know, fantasy authors and other authors of other genres. But one of the first ones I think I went to actually was Portia de Rossi, of all people, who's now the wife of Ellen DeGeneres. But I think she was one of the first ones. I went to Ricky Lake. I've gone to, I think, 2 presidents, Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton. I've also gone to I think he was Secretary of State, which is Colin Powell. I went to Maya Angelou before she passed away, God rest her soul. I went to her book signing. Man, so many. Ricky Lake. I'm just thinking, I can't believe all these book signings. I went to Jacques Popon. I went to him, a book signing of his. Who else? One of the justices, Sonia Sotomayor. I went to her book signing, and I got her book in both English and Spanish. The Spanish version, I was meant to give it to my godmother, and I actually never did. I still have it somewhere. But yeah, I've been to, I mean, so many I can't even tell you, all signed. R.L. Stine was one of the ones that I couldn't believe it. I got him to sign my first edition, Welcome, I think it's called Welcome to the Haunted House, the first book of Goosebumps. I mean, you could tell that it's like the first edition that I had when I was a kid. So I went to his book signing and he signed that first book. I was like, over the moon. Okay, let's go to my downloads. But I think my most prized one is probably the Maya Angelou one, because unfortunately I think she died soon after that book signing happened. And so I consider that to be like, I should have done this in a different color because this is going to look off, because I can't really see what's happening back there. I wasn't thinking, but I just want to resize this in here. Yeah, it's not centering it. If it's centered here, then I'm gonna say yes. Then the dimensions I'm working with is right. Because as long as I stay within these lines here, then I should be good to go. All right, that's all I needed to check. So we are on a good footing. Let's quit that. I just want to check this real quick. All right, so I need to resize all these canvases again because they're, as you can see, too small. But I really want to work on the vault, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll resize. another day. And I'm actually not even going to do this spread in here because I've noticed if I put too many artboards in here, and make the file like exorbitantly big because of all the artboards, it really slugs out Photoshop and my computer in general. So I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 8 spreads here, and I have 9 spreads, but I'm going to take the vault out. And, oh wait, they need me to confirm my hair appointment. Appointment confirmed. Sweet. So I'm going to take the vault spread out of here and actually create a new thing. I just want to make sure 33, no wait, the new dimensions is 67. I need to write this down. That's what I need, sticky notes and like a little notepad here. Oh, wait, I have one right here. I actually have a little notebook and pen. Well, it's not little, but you don't have to do. Okay. This is actually more my notepad for work than for like streaming, but I need to have this written down somewhere. So the dimensions that everything is going to be is 67, 89 width by 46, 20 for the height. May we never, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is, I just noticed. Okay, so we can close this now. Actually, I probably wanted to have that open, but we'll see. Let's see how far we can get without needing to steal things from that. So we are going to go with 6789. Pixels, please, not points. By 4620. And create. Okay, here we go. So this is the canvas that I'm going to be working on. And like I always do, I start with laying down the background. Because I need to make sure I've got something here like that. And then I always just lock this layer in so I don't accidentally touch it. And now let's save this to the cloud. I don't know why it did that. Journal spreads 2. Save. Done. Sweet. Welcome back. All right. So what I did was I kind of sketched out a little bit. This isn't what it's gonna look like, but I just needed to know. So on my iPad here, I used Procreate to kind of just sketch out what I'm doing. So what the vault is intended to be is like a checklist for writers or creative people on what they need to do whenever they start or create something new, like an author name or some sort of business. And really it's for writers, so it's going to have things like creating an Amazon KDP account, getting a Goodreads author page, signing up and getting BookBub. So the idea is that I'm going to give you this area that's called the vault. So every time you create a new business, like for me, I have Pen and Machine, right? penandmachine.com. I had to think on the fly, like what did I need to grab up and snatch up to tie this name to? And I would love to have a sort of checklist for myself where I don't need to get it for all of the things, but a good majority of these things in the social media, business, author community that you want to make sure you sign up for and get right away. And some of those things are like, you want to get an email account, and Gmail is free. You get, the 15 gigs. So create an email with that name. You might want to get, the website URL for that name. snatch up a WordPress account because WordPress is free, or Squarespace, or whatever it is that you want to use. You want to make sure you get that Twitter handle, that Instagram handle, that Facebook page or Facebook group, and all of these things. And then I'm going to have it be clickable links. So right from this page, if you don't have those things, if you don't know what the URL is, you can just click on it. But also on this page, I'm going to give you blank lines so that you can write down any passwords that you may have to create on the fly and you don't want to forget. You can have it all right here in the vault, and that vault will be tied to whatever the project name is, or whatever the thing is, whether it's your author name or a business you just created or whatever. And then I'll have some blank areas where, in case you want to do something like an Etsy or something like that, you could just write Etsy and then do all those things. But that's the intention of this page, of this spread. And I hope, again, that it'll be useful to people, because I know it's going to be useful to me to have that, because right now I'm kind of just keeping it in a note on my phone, which is how I usually do my personal information. But for things that's for business, which is still personal but it's business, then I would like to have it somewhere where I'm not having to scroll past all my personal usernames and passwords to get to the bottom, whereas usually where I dump the stuff when I create a new thing, and I'm like, okay, I just created a new thing, here's the handles and the passwords and the whatevers for this new thing I created. So I want it to look like the other things, which is why I think I need to reopen that thing that I closed, because I need to steal some of the assets I already created, so I'm not recreating the wheel. And I'm trying to think which one looks the closest to what I want. I feel like none of these really look like what I want. The only thing that I do want to grab though is this box here, but otherwise nothing else really is giving me the vibes. I'm gonna have to create a lot of the blank lines and stuff on the fly. But let's take this. And I'm just gonna do a basic drag and drop here. Oh. Like so, and I'm gonna take this white that I don't need and delete it. I do want some lines, so he's in I forget what country he's in, but I think at this time he's sleeping. It's nighttime. So unless he's being a night owl and awake, he would typically be eating dinner around this time and then going to bed, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like usually when I'm streaming in the mornings and he stops by, he'll usually have to go because he has to start dinner when his wife gets home. So I would imagine that means wherever he is in the world that it's evening time. Give me some lines, people. Give me some lines. See, those have lines, but yeah, we're not going to get lines that we want. So let me just see what the dimensions are. Why are you not letting me click this? Here we go. 3.3. Okay. We're going to close this again. Okay, here we go. Now, oh, excuse me. We're going to extend this to the top, but not too far to the top, because I have to remember there's a dotted line just inside this box, which I'm treating as like my bleed line. So I'm just gonna go somewhat to the edge, but not entirely. And then I'm going to center and center. And let's freeze this again. And oh wait, I might as well take both of these things and move them up like so. And then we're going to change this to the vault. And I can now freeze this is going to be called the header. I'm going to freeze the header now. I don't want any of this to be accidentally touched. And we're going to now do some organizing here. Yeah, in whatever program you use, in GoodNotes, Notability, whatever program you use to actually use this on your device, whether it be your computer or your tablet or your phone, they all have that feature where you can duplicate the page. So you can be able to duplicate as much as possible, as much as you want. And I will have some helpful tutorials to show you how to do that, at least with the programs that I use and on the devices that I use. I can't unfortunately show it for everything because I don't use everything and I don't own everything, but I can at least give some basics on, like, if you're using GoodNotes, which is the program I recommend, here is how you would just easily bring something in and duplicate something that you need, specifically like the TBR pages. Like, you wouldn't just want one, you might read 40, 50, 60 books, right? And I'm only giving you a spread where you can, you know, track 12 at a time. So you're going to want to, you know, duplicate that multiple times over. And so, yeah, you can easily duplicate it. And even if you use the spread and you're like, oh man, I used it, how do I duplicate? I mean, you just duplicate it and delete whatever you have on there when you duplicate the page. No, it's not. GoodNotes, as far as I know, is on all platforms and it's on all devices. So that means you can have it on your phone, your computer, and your tablet. And I believe they have Android. It's on Android, so it should be on Windows. I've heard it's on Windows. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone who has Android or Windows, so I can't confirm nor deny, like, if it works exactly the same as it does for the Mac versions, but I would imagine it does. And probably GoodNotes has some sort of tutorials and visualizations on their website to show, like, this is what the Windows version looks like. And I think it's one price for all of the devices. So it's like $7.99, but it's not like you have to pay $7.99 for the desktop version and then $7.99 for the tablet version. You pay that one thing. It's not monthly. It's not a subscription. It syncs across all your devices. So you just pay that one price for the app and you're able to use it universally across all of your devices. I'm almost positive. I don't recall if I had to buy GoodNotes for my Mac separate from my tablet. I don't think I did. I think I got it on my tablet, and then when I went on my phone and my desktop, that it just had a little cloud icon thing to say download it, and I did. Notability is supposed to be another good one for it, but I don't like the way Notability looks. I feel like that program is geared more towards college students and students who are like taking notes in classrooms and stuff like that, and because it's so geared towards that demographic and that audience, I find the UI to be a bit like not for me. So that's why I say Notability in the same breath that I say GoodNotes, but really I use GoodNotes, and that's just the way it is. Okay, I'm gonna make some lines now, and then I'm gonna let the lines dictate where I put everything else. Now I know I said 3.3, but I feel like that's too thin of a line, so I'm gonna try 5 now. And yeah, like that's to me like hella thin. That's better. I don't want it to be too thick, but I don't want it to be so thin where I'm like, where are my lines? What is happening here? And I think I want to have it in like sections. So I'm thinking I want to do like a start here and then do like let me think. Oh. Where's my center? How did I lose the center here, people? Why are you not centering for me? Oh dear. Okay, so let's center it with this. Oh, because I was already in the center? Really? Are you telling me I'm that good? Okay, so here I want to put like first of all, let's try having not white. Okay. And let's try this. I think that's how I'm doing it in other areas. Oh, I don't remember what font I was using. Well, actually, I don't have to remember. It is source code Pro. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that for myself. So we're gonna have this here. And it looks like I'm doing all caps as opposed to, yeah. And then I know the opacity gets pulled back to like 75 maybe, or maybe 50. Let's go back to 50. Yeah, 50 looks good. And I'm gonna put this back up to 100. Really? Back your documents up to a third-party app and view it on other devices. Interesting. Yeah, I'm sure there's gotta be a GoodNotes equivalent for like Android and Mac. I just don't know. I mean, Android and Windows. I just don't know what that would be. Start here. Now this start here is too big. Let's be real. And it's also like really far apart. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I mean, I want to do some research myself because when I talk about one, I don't want to exclude an entire base that uses Windows and Android devices because I'm just not familiar with what a good and decent equivalent would be. So I don't want to just be like, yeah, just Google good notes equivalent. I want to be able to say good notes on such and such, and then this thing on over here. I've heard people use the Microsoft OneNote. I've heard that's been used. I don't know how, but I think that's one that I may actually be able to test, because I do have OneNote, and technically I do have a PC. It's just my work laptop. So while I can test to see if something works on a PC, because it's my work laptop, I don't, or I haven't. But that's not to say that I couldn't. I think I want to left align, so I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to actually set it to left align and put it over here. I'm going to copy and paste this again, and this time I'm going to left align, and I'm going to change this from bold to semi-bold. It might still be too thick. It's also too big. Too big. Perfect. I'm just tossing some things around. We're gonna do an email. I'm just gonna put email. And I don't want to put it like right under a little inward. So email. Do a website URL. Before I keep going, I need to make away social media section. Twitter, and we got Instagram. Oh, I thought everything was frozen again. Where's project name? Put this right down here. And we're going to take all of this, group it, put these are going to be the words, and then I'm going to do another thing for the lines. Put the header up here. I think I'm going to put this in the header folder. Right down there like that. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So let's do... Oh, welcome Maya writes, and thanks for the raid. And welcome to everyone who is stopping in. Usually I'm doing writing in sprints, but for the last couple of weeks I've actually been working on some social, well not social, but some writer type spreads for digital journaling, because I couldn't find any that were specific to writers. And so I figured instead of waiting for someone to create these spreads that are specific to me and my needs, I would just create them myself. So that's what I've been doing for these last couple of weeks, and eventually I will make them available to everyone, and not just for my personal use, but for other people's personal use who are writers, etc., and might find these spreads useful for some, digital journaling. And right now, the spread that I am creating is specific for creating a project. Usually when I see something like that, I'm like, I can't just sit and wait for someone else to do it and hope that someone else is going to do it. So I'm just going to do it myself. But what this page is, which I think is going to be another really useful page, not just for writers, but for creative people in general whenever they come up with an idea, is sort of like a checklist for yourself of like when you finally solidify your author name or your company name, or whatever the case may be, that there are certain things on a like internet and social and just certain things that you want to make sure you snatch up and that you have ownership of once you decide to undertake and undergo that endeavor. And so this is going to be a checklist for yourself to say, okay, I got an author name because I have this author name here, but let's say you want to have a new one for this other genre or whatever it is. And I just did something similar to that, and I had to remember and recall in my mind as I was snatching up the email and the website URL and getting the handles and the usernames and all of these things. It would be nice if I had it all right in front of me with clickable URLs that will just take me right to what I need, so that I can sign up and do it all within minutes instead of spending hours or days each day remembering like, oh man, I should have created, let me snatch up the Facebook page and make sure that I have that name already solidified under the name that I just created. And oh yeah, let me see if that URL is available, and let me do this and let me do that. So it's all going to be on this one page. All of it's going to be clickable links. You're going to be able to like write down right next to it, what is the email address you created? What's the website URL that you were able to snatch up? What's the Twitter handle, the Instagram, all of those things are going to be right here on this one page that you could always reference back to, easily click a link to get to it, and then have all your ducks in a row on whatever new project, endeavor, thing you choose to enter into. And this is going to be very specific to being a writer and an author. So it's going to include things like Amazon KDP, Goodreads author page, BookBub, things like that. But it's also going to have the things that any person should get with any creative endeavor that they're starting, like an email, a website, social media, etc. So it's going to go from like left to right, up and down. So I'm just kind of throwing things on the page, and then I'm going to make it organized, look pretty, have lines, all that stuff. And then I'm going to put little boxes next to the left of each thing so you can check off, got this, etc. So for Facebook, I think I'm going to do it this way. So the way I have it written here, where I'm going to do Facebook page and then Facebook group. Two different things. Move Pinterest out of the way for a second. And for anyone who's here, if there's a social media outside of this that's big enough and worth putting on here, like I'm not going to put TikTok. I'm going to put a section where it's going to be blank so you can fill those in, like if you get an Etsy shop or if you have a TikTok or a Snapchat or whatever. But I'm not going to actually put it on here because while yes, you can have those things, I don't think I really don't even think Pinterest is a necessity to have. But I have it, so that's why I'm putting it, because like I said, this is for me first and then everybody else second. But for the other things, that Facebook is not lined up right. I can tell. Okay, this is gonna bug me, so hold on a second. Okay, there we go. I'll fix that again, but that was bugging me. Okay, so now so these are social media things, and then there's going to be quote unquote business things. So I'm going to now create another header. And again, it's going to be more geared towards what I have. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to think about these things for yourself as well. So I am going to put them. And I'm just going to take all of these, copy and paste, just to make it easier for myself. Did it paste it? No, it did not. That's all right. I will just do it the long way. Move that over like so, and then we'll move it up like so, and then we'll edit. So getting things like a WordPress account and a YouTube channel and Patreon, MailChimp, and I'm going to do a little cheat sheet. I'm going to see if I could fit it on this page, which I think I prefer. And by cheat sheet, what I mean is just to say, like, MailChimp is if you want to start a newsletter. And, you know, YouTube channel is if you want to start, like, a video blog. WordPress account is for, you know, creating the website. You know, in case you see these things, you're like, well, what am I doing with that? Like, why is this listed here? What is it? So like a 1 or 2 word descriptor for certain things here. I mean, I don't think I need to really go into what it is you would do with a Twitter or Instagram for social media, but for some of the business stuff and then some of the author stuff, I think I'm going to like create that. And so I'm going to put some sort of key or legend or something, hopefully be able to put that on this page so that people can know, oh, that's why there's, you know, a BookBub or whatever. MailChimp. What else do I have here? I realize I need to put more space because I want to be able to give an area for passwords. So these are actually too close together, but I'll work on that when I start putting lines down. Right now I just want to get the bare necessities. So this I don't need. I'm going to delete it. And because I think that's it for business, except I forgot my thing here. If I come up with anything else, I will make note of it. I'm going to duplicate this, click and drag down. KDP, Goodreads, okay. I haven't done like author stuff in a while, so it might take me. I know it's gonna take me some time to try to remember myself all the things that I remember I needed at the time when I did all this stuff, because I've already done it. So it's one of those things where you do it once and you never have to do it again, right? Like, you get an Amazon KDP, you're done, unless you create like a new author name, because you can't link two different author names, so you'd have to do this over again. But I don't plan on doing that, so I have to remember what I did 5-6 years ago when I first got this all set. Sorry. My coaster got stuck to the bottom of my cup. Okay, so I'm liking how I have this set up so far, because that leaves me a lot of white space on the right hand side to kind of be like, this is what all these things are. And I think I'm gonna shift everything over to the left instead of having it I'm gonna take all of this and actually shift it over slightly, and then I'm gonna create a box within a box, which is locked, so I have to unlock it. And so let's do it like this size. This is going to be the legend box. That's going to give like some idea to the person using this, how or why or what it is. It doesn't have to be too big because it's not going to be that much information, I don't think. I want to kind of center it, but let's just put it there for now. Stop moving around. What time is it? Okay. I have to check the time because I need to get online soon. Actually, let me get online now. My computer is blowing up right now. Okay, let me what's her name now? Sorry, you guys. I got roped into looking at my work email sooner than I needed to. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to like sign in because my boss can be kind of a, you know what. If I'm not signed in at a certain time. So really quickly, I need to open something on my other screen. Just to remind myself what I have to do in exactly 30 minutes. I'm like really annoyed that I feel like my autofill is not where it should be. Yeah, what is that about? Something happened. I must have wiped all of my like memory from whatever because I can't sign into anything. Or like when I type, even when I type Twitch, I have to like type it out fully to get what I need. Which is kind of annoying. Here we go. Where is it? GDS. I think UPS was just delivered. Ooh, and they rang the doorbell. Oh no, it's the people to do our land survey. Oops. We had to, we're doing a lot of like building and stuff, and before we break any ground, we need to just know where our land begins and ends, because we also suspect that some of our neighbors might be on our land. So we, in order to do it the legal way, we're just getting all the ducks in a row. So today they're actually going to lay the markers, which is pretty cool. And then on Friday we're going to have the final report and know exactly the bounds of our property. And then sometime in the not too distant future, we're going to be cool tie-dye shirt. We're going to be putting up fencing and all of these things, so hold on, I have to see what my schedule is for the day, because I might need to head downstairs for this survey thing. Yeah, I'm good. I just need to get this done, and then I can, after I'm done on stream, go downstairs. Oh, so much happening. Hold on, I'm starting to get distracted and I can't get distracted. Put this back over here so I know what I'm doing next. Where is what I'm looking at or looking for? Oh, here we go. got that, so I put. I got that. Might as well use it. Oh, she didn't. General finance, public code, general finance. Just hold on 1 second, lady. It's not letting me type that out though. Oh, there it goes. Let me just check this again. Okay, so that's done. Okay, two-factor authorization. Crap. It's so annoying. Great, now my approval isn't going through. What else is new? I know it's not your team. What is happening? Thanks. You have a good day too. I got so distracted with like work stuff that I totally stopped what I was doing. And I think I'm gonna have to like permanently stop because I have to do this other thing. So I'm actually gonna sign off at this point, unfortunately. But I will not be back again until I think Monday, because like my birthday weekend is officially gonna be starting on Friday. I have things I have to do. I don't stream on Thursdays, so I will be back on hopefully on Monday. I have off Monday, but I don't have any plans, so I might be able to do a nice long stream on Monday. So I will be back then. Yeah, I know. I will be back then. So I just need to get through today and tomorrow with like work, and then after like tomorrow at 4:30, I'm gonna be in like vacation mode starting tomorrow. So I just need to get through today and tomorrow. That's all I keep telling myself. Just get through today and tomorrow, and then I will be all good to go on Monday. Maybe I might do bookcases or books on Monday. I think that might be a good day because I'm gonna have like the whole day, the whole morning. I could just move some books in here and do that. So maybe I will do that on Monday, depending on how crazy and wild my birthday weekend is. So my birthday's on Sunday. Yeah, but thanks for stopping by. It was a short stream. I didn't really do much, but it is what it is. And I will catch you guys after